Hi everyone and welcome to the Irish Art Show, broadcast to you from the Scientology Community Centre. Tonight our guest is none other than singer-songwriter and storyteller Furey. Finn is about to take us on an unforgettable music journey. Tonight he's accompanied on fiddle by Jayne Pomplas. Please welcome Furey.
A loosener. A leg loosener. All right. This is a song called Fire and Blood.
Tribal ethos, look where we've come to. Gender revolution, our epoch and you. Glory days, so they say. New world glass stage it seems. Glory days, fire and blood. Fire and blood, fire and blood, fire on me, love. We've been brainwashed by binary machines of war, persuadables desire, lost souls to click and scroll, filter timelines like, learn only what they care to share. Propaganda kings and queens, eyes on your screens, all they need. Fire and blood, fire and blood, fire and blood, fire on me, love, fire on me, love, fire on me, fire on me, love. Fire on me. Oh, 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 oh. they say. New world life stage it seems. Glory days, fire and blood. Fire and blood, fire and blood, fire on me, world.
It's weird being a quiet studio, isn't it? A wild applause. We're gonna do a little tune now. I wrote recently. It's called "A Song Beyond the Grave." And it goes something like this. Wake up call. Wake up call. New age, new creeds, old beliefs, new world moves on, but you only catches identity. New world moves on. Wake up call. Mortal mirror, where life hikes emerge, stay you. Seek the company of angels instead of the devils you know. Hero to zero on the climb. Compassion, cut your road, fellow. Soul falls, hope to the broke. A dreamer and devil collide. Fellow, wake up call. New age, new creeds, old beliefs, new world moves on, but you only catches identity. New world moves on. Wake up call. New age, new creeds, old beliefs, new world moves on. Wake up call. New age, new creeds, old beliefs, new world moves on. Beyond the grave, you only catch it. Home, brazen, faithless, the old heroes, chosen, blameless, the new age creed, boastful, shameless, the mold broken with identity. Identity. Identity.
I came to town, they call it the summer love. Burning babies, burning flags, hawks against the cliff. I took a job in the steaming, way down in Catherine Street. Fell in love with the laundry girl working next to me. Brown hair zigzagged around her face with a look of half surprise. The fox got in the headlights, there was animal in her eyes. She said to me, can't you see I'm not the factory kind? If you don't take me out of here, I'll lose my mind. And she was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. She was a lost child, she was running wild. So long as there's no place in love, I'll stay. You wouldn't want me any other way. We were busking round the market town, through picking down in Kent. We could tinker pots and pans and knives of every bent. We were camping down the gower, work was mighty good. She wouldn't wait for the harvest, I thought we should. I said to her, we'll settle down and get a few acres dug. Fire burning in the heart and bodies on the road. She said, oh man, you foolish man, that surely sounds like hell. You might be lord of half the world, you're not on me as well. And she was a rare thing, light as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. She was a lost child, she was running wild. So long as there's no price on love, I'll stay. You wouldn't want me any other way. Drinking more in those days, our tempers reached the pitch. Like a fool I let her on the way when she took the rambling ditch. Last I heard she was living rough, back on the Derby beat, with a bottle of white horse in her pocket, a wolf found at her feet. I heard that she got married once to a man named Romney Brown, but even a gypsy caravan was too much like settling down. Well, they say her rose has faded, rough weather and hard blues. Well, maybe that's the price you pay for the chains you refuse. Well, she was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. And if I could just taste all of her wildness now, if I could hold her in my arms today, I wouldn't want her any other way. Cheers. Old Crumlin Road, we? Me and Jayne are used to playing in live bars, music settings, rowdy crowds, and it's strange to have the silent abyss, you know? But it's good to see your faces, kind of. You in particular, man. What's your name, man? Mauro, okay. Now we're getting somewhere, you know what I mean? Nice to meet you, Mauro. This one's for you, Mauro. This is a song called Old Crumlin Road. It's one of the first songs I ever wrote. It was about a trip I had once up in Belfast. We were finishing a small tour in the north of Ireland. We finished in a place called Crumlin Road Jail, which closed in the 80s and is now a bit of a live music venue and opens its doors on special occasions for live music events and entertainment. Before the show, we were given the tour of the prison, and it just blew my mind. After the show, we were chatting with many locals, the stories they had to tell of the prison stay with me forever, and from that experience came this song. It's a song called Old Crumlin Road. fighting for freedom. No man stands alone. Brothers in arms, warring for family and home. No man free to roam in this land of his own. Stolen by a throne, let their sound be known. Sounds of the thunder as their barrels they roll. Sounds of the triggers as they turn these men cold. Let their stories be told of old Crumlin Road. Cruel history concealed, now revealed between these stone walls. Fear, pain and anger beholding the mind, cast to a chamber to be hanged alive. Lay your arms down, down to the ground. These royal clowns line up to that sound. Sounds of the thunder as their barrels they roll. Sounds of the triggers as they turn these men cold. Let their stories be told. Cruel history concealed, now revealed between these stone walls. Let their stories be told, the vote crumbling around. Cruel history concealed, now revealed between these stone walls. Upon icy fingertips, blindfolded men aligned. Is it hard to pull the trigger in cold death when you're eye to eye? Cruel genocide, leaving culture destroyed. Thriving to survive in a fight for their lives. You can hear the thunder as their barrels they roll. You can hear the triggers as they turn these men cold. Let their stories be told. Old Crumlin Road. Cruel history concealed, now revealed between these stone walls. Concealed, now revealed between these stones. Sláinte. How are we for time, folks? I think we got one more, do we? We'll do an Al farewell chant, will we? This is going to be a bit of a jam session for us. Oh, of all the money that there I had, I spent it in good company, and to all the harm I've ever done, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done call. So gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be with you all. All of all the comrades that dare I have, they're sorry for my going away. And to all the sweethearts that e'er I had, they wish me one more day to stay. And since it fell to my lot that I should rise and you should fall, I gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be with you all. And I'll gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be with you all. Cheers. Jayne Pomplas, folks.
Wow, what a performance from Finn Furey and Jayne. Incredible. Absolutely enjoyed every minute of it. Such a great energy between them on the stage. It was just fantastic. And I have to say, that song, Crumlin Road, I liked that because obviously it's about, you know, a prison becoming a music venue. So how fantastic is that? So I'd like to welcome you, Finn, to the Irish Art Show.
Thanks, yeah, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Great crack, you know, lashing a few tunes.
Yeah, I have to say you're great fun even behind the sines.
Yeah,
you know,
I appreciate it.
You have a good personality just even chatting to you before we
A juxtaposition to my songs, you know.
No, I like your laugh.
Appreciate
it's
it.
lovely. So tell me actually how it all began for you. We'll start off with your journey of music. Obviously, you come from a musical family, but just tell me about how you started.
So I mean, I grew up in a very musical household.
Yeah.
You know, there's pictures of me as an infant in guitar cases backstage while the lads are tearing into tunes and all the rest. And as I grew older, you know, I remember my first kind of realization of occupations and realizing that my dad is a musician and being like, I think there's a postman and that's what he does, you know, and that's the shopkeeper is a shopkeeper. And I was like, oh, that's so cool that he plays music, that's what he does, you know. So I've always been very much immersed in it. All my family are very musical. I was very, very sporty growing up, so I blew my back out doing boxing and hurling and Gaelic and all the rest. So I was always fascinated with injury rehabilitation. So I sort of professionally went into that world for about 9 years. I was working as a strength and conditioning coach and physiotherapist and stuff. And only the last year, really, I've went full-time into music, started really recording and picking up a lot of gigs, and things are getting much busier. So I sort of, carrying the torch later on, you know. But I always kind of stayed in doing open mics. I lived in Canada for about 5 years and doing small gigs here and there. I just love playing, you know. There's nothing really like it in my experience. And yeah, so now just kind of working full-time in the music, I'm just delighted, you know. No more alarm clocks, you know. Waking up at noon, you know. It's great.
I actually think you were destined with your family to be a singer. And that you were just holding it off.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, that's all you were doing.
I was just obsessed with music, you know. But like, it was.
You're holding off the inevitable.
Right time. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but it was nice.
So.
It was like very organic, you know. And like I remember getting really into music when I was in BC and just picking up a few little gigs here and there, open mics, kind of exploring my own songwriting and testing it out. And you know, people were into it and stuff. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll record a song, you know. And it kind of grew and grew from there.
And when did you know actually that you were like it says here you're a storytelling songwriter, which is amazing, who explores a wide range of themes ranging from protest and liberation to comical revelations about life and how each of us choose to live it. I like those words.
Well, yeah, sorry to cut across, you just answer. Yeah, well, I think like growing up, a lot of my inspiration obviously would have been my father first and foremost, and the music coming out of like the Dublin scene, the Dubliners and stuff, and people like John Lennon and Bob Dylan and those storytellers, you know. And it's it's music that it's got a tale to it, you know, and that fascinated me always, to be able to hear someone singing and it just paints an image in your head, you know. Blows me away. For example, like Bee's Wing, you know, the song I sang earlier is a cover. Beautiful, and he says, there's a line in it where he says, they say her rose has faded, rough weather and hard booze. Maybe that's the price you pay for the chains you refuse. I just think that's beautiful, you know. Excuse me. And so yeah, that sort of really pushed through everything that I've done musically, you know. I think there's got to be a theme, there's got to be a bit of a story there to make it worthwhile, you know what I mean?
And when did you actually first write a song? Or no, you had the ability to do that?
Yeah, it was the first song I wrote was a song called Red Eyes, and it was about a friend of mine who actually committed suicide. He passed away. I was 18, he was 19, and me and three of my friends found him, and it was a crazy time. It really that was a big shift for me too. Was thinking, okay, what do I want to do with my life? You know, what really. It really put life in perspective. Spend your days. You know, how you spend your days is how you spend your life, and I want to spend my days doing things that I love to do, you know, and that was as well helping people with injuries with the physiotherapy, and because of my own history with that, and then getting into just music. It's just so much fun, you know. So I'm
and
like,
it's therapy, music therapy.
Absolutely, cathartic. Absolutely, you say it. So first song I ever wrote was about my mate who passed away, and it was just me sitting in my room strumming A minor, E minor, two of the darkest chords you have on a guitar, really. And I just came up with this song. But even before I came up with the lyrics, I remember humming it. And my dad, I had a chat with him about just life and stuff, you know. And I remember coming up with just this melody, and I just started humming and strumming, and I just felt this mad inflation in myself, you know, and it was just, before I knew it, there were streams of tears, but I wasn't crying. I was just humming. It was weird, and what it was catharsis. I never even heard of the word, you know, but it was a release, and it really was, as cheesy as it sounds. That was the first time, like, that kind of really happened to me. Now I've been side stage and listened to my father sing like songs like The Old Man about his father passing and stuff, and being in streams of tears, and I was there when Jim McCann sang Grace for the last time and stuff, you know, just heavy stuff. But from my own performance, like, yeah, never had that before, and for me, I was like, wow, this is fascinating, you know, this is so interesting. And from there, I just started writing songs in my own spare time, you know, and like, I think it was later that year, actually, I started really getting into the tunes, and my dad brought me on that tour, finishing up the north of Ireland, where we sang in Crumlin Road, and I had that experience up there. We got the tour of Crumlin Road, and after that, I wrote the song Crumlin Road, Old Crumlin Road, yeah.
It's wonderful. And I have to say, there's no doubt about that. Music brings you through so many, you know, emotions.
Yeah.
So it's an incredible tool, isn't it, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you say your songs grasp the attention of the listener and reel them into dark, twisted tales of loss. Yeah. I love this. Within a few bars, and then within a few bars, there's a sing-along chorus.
Yeah, that's
How
it.
How cute.
Yeah, well, that's it. You know, I mean, people.
Let's have the darkness, and let's bring the light in.
You know, there's got to have a silver lining. You know,
yes,
I find, things that really. That's why there's so much. I mean, there's so much songs for happiness and all that too. But I find that there's so much beautiful dark songs out there. You know, and to have, at the end of the day, look, if people are coming out to a gig, they don't want to be sitting there, you know, feeling miserable and, you know, going down and down and down. There's got to be a bit of a lift, you know, even in those darker moments. The songs like Grace, for example, is such a beautiful song, and the Old Crumlin Road and stuff, to have something that people can cling on to, a hook,
it's
essentially.
It's a pensive moment, isn't it? And then to bring
exactly. The tension release, exactly, yeah. So yeah, it's endless, really. It can go either way. But to find, like, I have a song called Clairvoyant K-Holes, which is essentially about, like, you know, essentially playing around with substance abuse and seeing all sorts of other sides to the coin, and having, you know, comical chemical revelations, you know, and again, putting life in perspective of different things, how you want to spend your time and stuff like that, you know. And
I do think, actually, because your music has been described as storytelling with the pulse.
With the pulse, yeah. So essentially that,
hard
you know.
Pulse, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Exactly,
you know, like Irish music ranging from slow and intimate performance to fast-paced rhythms with belting vocals.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. Yeah. Get up the art, you know.
Get up the art.
So just playing around with, like, I love rhythms, and I'm playing around very percussive stuff with my hands and stuff as well, and finger picking, and then playing with a pick. It has all these different textures or sounds coming out of the guitar. So to try and to keep people entertained, especially nowadays with phones and all the rest, you know. I find people's attention spans are very short. So, and even myself, you know, when I'm playing, if we play in a song and it's kind of the same sort of thing, after about 60 seconds, I'm like, oh, is there a change coming soon, you know? So I'm like, that's where I'll start finger picking, or I'll play very percussively, like you'll see on the song Beyond the Grave.
That, yeah, so
and then with the pick and stuff like that. So adding those dynamics kind of keep people really reeled in. And I'm used to gigging with, you know, in the late bars, rowdy wildness, you know what I mean? Like, you got to deliver from 10 seconds in, you know, and keep it there for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And, you know, there's time then for stepping down into slower songs and back up then, but for the most part, and I love that, you know, those festival crowds, gimme, like, let me at them, you know?
So that'd be your favourite, rather than say like a sit-down concert or something?
Yeah, do you know what? I always
you.
loved, yeah, but now recently, especially the last year, I've been playing these like fast-paced gigs. I'm playing with people like Jayne Pomplas, and I've been gigging a bit with my cousin recently, Furey, and the few lads from the Beardfire Studios, Ro and Al.
They've been here on the show.
Yes, yeah, lovely lads, like
lads.
lovely lads. And then my oldest and dearest mate, Michael Fleming, is a drummer. He'll be here with me the next time. He's a savage.
Amazing.
And it's just, I just love that dynamic. I love playing with people, you know. And yeah, now getting used to that high intense energy crowds, you know, to play to a quiet listening crowd. It's like, it's you know, I can feel my hands shaking. I'm like, you know, used to like chaos.
You can hear them
know?
breathing nearly.
Yeah, it's different for sure. But I love it though, because it gives you a chance to slow it down, to start really slowly finger picking and really lean into a melody, which is nice, instead of, again, belting. But then when you do take it up a notch and you're driving, and then you release into that big notes, it's cool, yeah.
Who inspires you?
Jeez, that depends. I mean,
okay, in life, and who inspires you?
Yeah, that's a big one.
And
like,
not
I mean,
life, music.
Musically, like, yeah. I mean, like, you know, I'd say honestly, the first and foremost person that's popping into my head would be my outfit, my dad. You know, I mean, he gets up at 6 in the morning. I just grew up like so we'd have the house, you know, the 2-story house, and then he'd have his pavy room, he called it, you know, his gypsy jam room, you know, and my bedroom was above that. And just growing up from the age of being an infant, just hearing the sounds wafting through my floorboards, you know, and I just grew up to the sounds of uilleann pipes and banjos at 6 in the morning. And I'm like, oh, I have to be for school in an hour, will you shut up, you know? But he would wake up, he'd make himself
That was normal to you, like.
Well, that was it, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Anybody that has come from a family of musical, you know,
away.
They know they've grown up with it. It's just a normal life.
No, it is, and it's nice. Like, it's again, upon reflection, I appreciate that so much, you know. But like, I grew up with him, just the discipline that he has. But it's not discipline, it's just passion, because he loves it. There's nothing more to it, you know. He'd roll himself a little roll, he'd have himself a cup of tea, and he'd be sitting down there jamming, working on tunes, morning till night, you know. And I'd come home from school, there he would be, you know. If he wasn't away gigging, he'd be working away. And recently he just said, you know, there's just drawers and drawers and chests full of lyrics and these tiny little cassette tapes with loads of songs, double-sided. And he's like, Sham, he said, now when I pass away, you've got albums here for you to use, you know. But like, he doesn't stop, you know. And that for me, especially now that I'm just full-time music, I'm just loving it. Yes, I'm the same thing. Get up in the morning, make myself a little bit of tea, and I can just work on some tunes, you know. Yeah, it's great. It's been brilliant. And then the Beardfire Studio is right around the corner from me, Harold's Cross, with the lads. So I'm in Crumlin, so I just hop on the bike or hop in the car and take a trip down and put down some tunes, you know. So a bunch of releases coming this year, which I'm excited about. But yeah, would you do a father-son
thing?
Yeah,
even an album, like it's something that you can do and have it forever.
Yeah, I mean, it would be definitely. I mean, we love playing with each other. We always kind of go up to the house and we'd have an Ale Guinness and have a bit of a jam session in the house, you know. But I know I was sort of never really thought about doing recording with him, you know.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. To tell you now.
There's a good idea. Who would have known?
The light bulb. Yeah, no, definitely. It's definitely something that we've kind of played around chatting about, you know. But we're kind of doing our own thing and stuff. But yeah, well, he's retired now he's actually released an album recently. It's Savage, and he's got 2 tracks that he hasn't put on the album that I'm raging that he hasn't put on the album. There's one called Blood Skies Over Africa, and then there's another one called Mr. Present.
Maybe you could both sing that.
Oh, do you want to hear these tunes? They're savage. So they'll be out some stage.
And I believe actually you're kind of like in 2024 you're releasing a lot of music, like nearly, it looks to me like nearly every month.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
You're kind of coming out with something to end with a debut album. I mean, that's really exciting.
That's
isn't
it. Yeah, I'm excited now for that. So we've exactly that, you know, grinded
You
through
must
all the
be
years.
living with Birdfire at the moment, aren't
Yeah,
you?
I know, yeah, the lads are sick of me about me
Oh,
sleeping
here he is
bag in
again.
there.
Oh, no.
Where's my
Another
toothbrush, you
song.
know? Yeah, exactly. Me and Al are sharing a toothbrush. So, no, it's great. I've now have the time to really hone in. I've 30 songs to choose from on the album, and I'm going to narrow that down to 12.
That's hard, isn't it?
I've got a bunch of them done, and I'm
How
also...
do you choose from all these little babies that you
Yeah,
created?
I know,
Like,
exactly. I'm also recording with Peter Eads out in Malahide as well. He's savage. I call him Peter Ears because he's got such good ears for mixing, you know, multi-instrumentalist, savage. He's the fellow I was chatting about. He plays the guitar upside down, you know. So yeah, it's basically narrowing it down to 12 tracks for the release of the album in June, and then I'll do an extended version of maybe 18 or 20 tracks in probably April or something like that. So bunch of singles. Yeah, single in February 16th, just a soft release, and then a big one in March.
What's that one called?
Dreamland, or Last Slow Dance to Dreamland. And it's about a friend of mine who I met in Toronto who I was working with, and his wife passed away. I never met the wife. I'd only been working with him about a year, and we went for a pint, and he was telling me he had this reoccurring dream, and that him and his wife, they just, without speaking, they just sort of met each other and had this slow dance under the streetlights of Toronto, and it was snow, but it wasn't cold. And he went on in this beautiful detail of the wife, but he said this sentence to me, and that's what kind of came out of the song. He said, I only ever see her really in my dreams. You know, pictures, videos, it's just like, but it was just that hook. I was like, oh, that's beautiful. So I wrote a song essentially about falling asleep and finding her, essentially, yeah, and being reunited with her. So that's gonna be out in it's nice, a kind of soft song, you know. That's out in 16th of February, Friday, and then we've got a big song called Real by Chance, which my drummer came up with. We were jamming one day. We were actually working on that, a song Beyond the Grave tune, just showing him that, and we were having a bit of a break, and he started into this drum and bass, mad energy, you know. And he goes, would you ever do a drum and bass tune? So he just lashed into it, you know, and I was like, keep that going. And I came up with a few different chords, and I was like, found something that sits nicely with it. And then I was away to Greece for a week. So I wrote the song while I was away and came back, and then we recorded it last week, basically. So myself, Al, Ro, Mike, we got into the room. We put the drums separate because they just take over everything when they're in the same room, especially in recording. So we're on the headphones. Ro actually was in the headroom, so he was engineering / playing lead electric guitar on it as well. So me and Al, bass and electric guitar. Ro in the station room, and Michael was in his own drumming room. 3, 2, 1, everyone tear in, and we done 10 takes, and then we kind of picked the best take as a band, and we said, right, let's do that one, and then overdubbing the vocals, then sitting in on top. And I'm doing the vocals on Thursday, actually, yeah. So that one will be released in March, and then EP in April, a couple of singles through May and early June, and an album late June.
Have you a name for the album?
I have a few ideas. I have a few ideas, but I haven't decided on it yet. So
You can tell me later.
Yeah, I'll tell you later. I'll tell you later. But yeah, I have nothing to decide on yet. I have a bunch of songs, and some, you know, I have to see which is going to be the kind of title tracks and stuff, you know, essentially. So I have a few ideas for sure, yeah.
You know,
they're up there. You know, keep them up my sleeve, you know what I mean?
Don't tell me.
Yeah, keep them up my sleeve, you know what I mean?
I might tell the audience.
Yeah.
You know, I have to say, you're just such a lovely guy to interview, and a lovely guy to actually be in your presence.
Yeah, nice to chat to you.
You know, you can see how passionate you are and how passionate you speak about your music or your family and life in general. It's just...
Yeah, it was beaten into me as a kid.
It's just glowing
With a
out
banjo.
of you.
I love the banjo.
But it is just
Yeah,
like your whole
no, it
energy,
is.
You're just... You
Well,
know,
well,
it's amazing.
It comes from that experience, like I was saying about, you know, realising, again, when I was a kid,
Yeah.
realising occupation, seeing what my dad does and seeing, you know, and going out in the world and experiencing life and being like, this is great crack, you know? You know, this is a way of life. Yes, please, sign me up, you know?
And I actually always say, like, I'm a vocalist myself, we always think that...
You sing yourself, yeah?
Yeah. But we do, imagine that.
Harmonies now, tell
there
you
you go
now.
now.
Tell you now.
But the thing about it is we always think that, you know, what we sometimes take for granted what we do. And we think everybody in life can do this. And no,
100%.
not everybody in life can do it, and will experience what it's like to be on stage. So
Yeah,
it's a very,
it
it's
can
a
be
blessing.
daunting too as well,
But
you
it
know,
is a
but
blessing.
you get used to that too, and you get used to that, you ride the adrenaline, you know, excuse me, but yeah, I think, you know, you can, for anything, you know, even if you're passionate about gardening or pottery or cooking, you know, and you can end up doing a job that you hate doing, and if you can, obviously everyone's different, you know, locked down with different things. But if you can make a change in your life for the better, then why not? You only get one spin on this rock. You might as well enjoy it, you know.
Make your work something that you're
That's
passionate about.
yeah,
'cause
yeah.
then it's never work.
Yeah, that's it.
Work.
That's it. Exactly the old saying. Yeah.
Well, you know, I've had a wonderful time with you.
Ah, no, it's been a pleasure.
Thank
Thanks
you
for having
so
me.
much.
Yeah, appreciate
Really
it.
and truly,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really enjoyed every
I'm
moment
jealous
of
of
the
your big,
interview.
long golden locks. I don't think I'd pull that one off.
We could organise
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Well, that's next gig, you know.
It is real, though.
Yeah,
Don't call it. It's real.
Yeah, this is real as well. That's what they say. Grass doesn't grow on busy streets. You know what I mean?
Very nice. So before you go, is there anything else you'd like to touch on? Obviously, you know, you have all this music coming out.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. Anything else?
Is there anything
before
else?
we go?
I mean, that's it really. Just
I think it's a
excited for
lot.
the album. Yeah,
I think
just
it's a lot.
excited for the album really, and excited to get going with everything, and yeah, grab it by the short and curlies. You know what I mean?
I'm looking forward to hearing all about your 2024.
Yes,
you know?
no, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Get the war paint on and tear
It's
into
only
it. You
the
know.
start, so
Yeah.
you know you've
Oh
lots
yeah,
to
that's
do.
it exactly. Early days. So yeah, onwards and upwards.
So could you tell people at home who want to check you out?
Yes,
Your
yeah,
social
yeah.
media.
So yeah, so everything: Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, Deezer, Tidal, all those things. Finn Furey, FIN, FUREY. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you'll
Check
find
you
me. You
out.
found me all around town in Dublin, being gigging away, and just social media.
I even added you as a friend on Instagram.
There you
last
go.
night.
I'll add you
At
back.
12.
There
Please
you go.
do.
Yeah, I'll get cosmetic tips. I need them.
See how funny you are.
Tell you
You
now.
could be a comedian
You've seen
now
me
as
with a few
well.
pints in me.
Well, listen, until the next time.
Thank you.
Thank you
no,
so much.
it's been a pleasure. No, I
Thank you.
appreciate it. Yeah,
Thanks so
cheers.
much. Thank you.
cheers.
Thank
Good
you.
handshake too, you know.
Thank you. There you go. Yes, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good
A
thing.
good
yeah.
thing. Okay, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. What can I say about this guy? Isn't he incredible? He's incredible. Thank you so much for tuning in this weekend. We look forward to seeing you again next week. And for myself, Angel, and the crew, thank you so much and good night. Thank you. Bye.